everyone, welcome back to Ask Prashanthi. I'm your host Prashanthi Reddy. I'm an immigration attorney dedicated to helping you navigate the sometimes challenging and often rewarding world of US immigration law. In this show, we tackle your questions, those real pressing concerns that you have about visas, green cards, citizenship, and everything else in between. We pull questions from our channels from YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and of course, those excellent questions that you submit on my website. So, if you have a burning question, please be sure to submit it and you will hear a response to it next week. Let's look into the first question. This is from Chandrakala, and this was asked on my YouTube channel. Can a US company sponsor a green card without a H-1B visa? How long does it take? Yes, the US company can file directly for labor cert and I-140 and then do consular processing, and you can come directly on a green card. However, this way will take a long time, especially if you're an Indian national. EB1 might take a few years, but EB2 and EB3 will take 10 plus years or even sometimes 20 plus years. So if you are um, intending to come within a certain period of time, a green card, coming directly on a green card may not be a good option for you unless you're coming on a through EB1 category. I hope that answers your question. Of course, but if you're born in some other country other than India and if your dates are current, then you might be able to come directly on a green card within a couple of years. Next question is from Raman. This was also on my YouTube channel. Hi, my husband applied for an I-130 in June of 2024, almost 1 year and 3 months. How long does it take to get a response from USCIS? Now, that really depends on which category you belong to. If you're an immediate relative, and if your visa number is available because you're an immediate relative of a US citizen, then it'll take about 12 to 14 months. But however, if the visa number is not available, say if your spouse is a permanent resident, then it might take a few years because the visa number is not available. Usually I-130s, they don't prioritize the approval until the visa number is near to getting approved or is near to becoming current or is almost current. They instead prioritize I-130 cases that have visa numbers available. I hope that answers your question. Third question is a question that is frequently asked by my clients. My green card will expire soon. Should I start the process of US citizenship now or wait until I renew it or until it expires? Well, you obviously can't wait until it expires because in order to file a US citizenship, you need to show that you at least have filed for the renewal. And with the receipt of the renewal, then you can apply for US citizenship. That's what my recommendation would be. You don't have to wait for it to get actually approved. But of course, the US citizenship case will not be approved until they see the approval of the green card extension. I hope that answers your question. Next question is again a trending question. I'm on a B1, B2 inside the US with my family. It's expiring in 2 months. What are the options I have to stay here and get a green card? It might be difficult for you to get a green card without actually moving to another non-immigrant status because a green card usually takes time because of priority date issues. This again depends, of course, on your country, but even if you belong to a country where your priority date is immediately available, it still takes time to file the labor cert. The I-140, the processing itself will take at least a year. So you will not be able to stay on a B1, B2, and you have to be in status in order to file for a green card, unless you have a family member who is a US citizen, an immediate family member, such as a spouse or parent or child. But otherwise, you might have to change to another non-immigrant status, and you could change depending on what you want to do in the US. If you have a job or you're getting a job and they're willing to file for a H1, you could change to a H1, which is a work visa. You could change to an F1, which is a student visa. You can, of course, apply for an extension of your B1, B2. And let's now go to the next question. Again, a trending question. If you have a green card, how long can you stay outside the United States before they will deny re-entry? You can't stay for more than a year. And in addition to that, you have to make sure that you're staying at least 6 months or more than 6 months in a year in the US. You can't keep traveling back and forth so that you're only here for a month in total and the rest of the time you're spending in your home country. So make sure that you're spending majority of the time in a year in the US. And remember, at CBP, they cannot take away your green card. They can, of course, ask you to voluntarily, give up your green card by filling out a form. But otherwise, they can put you in removal proceedings, and then the judge will decide, uh, whether you can keep your green card, whether you've maintained your residence here in the U.S. or not. And that brings us to the end of another episode of Ask Prashanthi. I hope that the answers that I've given were genuinely useful to you and they've helped you shed some light on your immigration journey. Remember, understanding your options is the key, and then getting reliable information is the next step. So, if you have a question you want answered, don't hesitate to reach out. You can leave a comment right here on YouTube, or you can connect with us on LinkedIn or Facebook, or submit your question directly on the website. Please follow the link in the description. See you again next week. Thank you for listening.